Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Monday night? Actually, Monday, August 1st, 2022, right? So, 7 months of this year are gone. This year is the second year of the second decade, no, the third decade, actually. Third decade of the second millennia in the calendar of the Lord Christ. There we go. I am doing my podcast on this Monday night instead of over the weekend. I was away. I went to Poconos with a friend of mine, and we had a great time actually. Well, the first day we got there around like 3 o'clock, close to 3, and then we're trying to find the Delaware water gap. We wanted to go around to the fucking river, and we were going in circles in these fucking roads, and some of them were so bad, potholes. Oh my god! Alongside the river, Delaware River, and I lost like my car's hubcap. One in the back, I lost one of the hubcaps, on the wheel caps. Uh, in one of those like small small roads which are not maintained by the local governments, right? Whatever the hell it is, and so we were going in circles, right? But finally, we went to what do you call Resica Falls? Resica Falls, right? It's a nice small fall, and they have this like picnic area, right, at the bottom of the fall, and where you can do like a bonfire. It's fucking amazing space, and they have like a pergola or a tent, a big one, where you can do barbecue or whatever the hell you want to do, right? Big like 15 people over there, do a barbecue, and then do the bonfire at night, and then have the beers or whatever the hell you want to do, whatever the hell you want to take as far as your drug of choice, right? But don't do any of those other stuff that can kill you. Jesus. Uh, yeah, it was nice. We didn't stay there, but we were visitors, tourists, and then the next day we went to hiking. Mount Tammany. That was nice. That was a nice hike, dude. That was such a nice hike, dude. And then my fiancée was on the phone with me, and I really appreciate that she was on the phone with me. Basically, I took her with me to the top of Mount Tammany. Oh man, it was like fucking never ending, dude. And my friend, he came halfway, and then he's like, dude, I'm just gonna stay here. And I'm like, okay. So at some points the hike was steep, but I have hiked, like even steeper. So not to brag, but I enjoyed it. Just that I kind of got annoyed because it was never ending, and the people actually, on the way, some people were telling us, oh, it's only 10 minutes. No, it's not 10 minutes. So I calculated, and then based on that, it was like a 2.5 hour, like a loop, and we stayed there last night. Not last night. Yesterday we came back. And we stayed there on Saturday night, at where the hell did we stay? Oh, Stay Bridging. The rooms were nice, really nice, big, large rooms, and they were like suites. They were like suites, dude. Yeah, they are suites, sir. That's why they call them Staybridge Suites East. East. So does that mean they have ones in the north, in the west, in the south? Probably. Uh, yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time to just be away from the goddamn city. I mean, Jersey City is, it's what do they call Jersey City? The sixth borough of New York City. Oh, by the way, my sister, while we were there, right? And while we were there, my sister sent me an article from New York Times, right? So apparently, I mean, I clicked on the link, and then you have to actually subscribe to goddamn New York Times, otherwise you can't actually read an article, right? So I subscribed, and then I was reading the article, and so apparently Jersey City, and I know why. Apparently Jersey City, where I live, is these days is the most expensive place to live for renters in the whole country, in the whole fucking country. Jersey City, can you believe that? It's my neighborhood and the waterfront. I mean, I live in the waterfront, and then the other buildings. So it's the most desirable, apparently, place to live because of the post-pandemic situation. When I say post-pandemic means, I guess because people really don't want to live in New York City and they want to move out. They have moved out? Because when I moved from 7th floor, my what do you call it, studio apartment. I mean, it was a large studio apartment to this apartment. In the midst of pandemic, right? At that time, there were so many options available. There's so many fucking options available, and I think even then, I mean, I looked at some apartments in other buildings here, right? There were studios available at that time, right? I'm talking about like November 2020, right? October, November 2020. There were studio apartments available in these buildings, not my building, but I looked at other two buildings that's owned by the same owners, right? They had studios up to as low as like $1,700, $1,700 fucking dollars, right? So now forget it. Oh my God. But I mean, my apartment's rent is expensive, but when I heard, and my friend actually, the one who I went to Poconos with, he had just moved from from England, and he was looking for an apartment. He was telling me, and then my sister sends me this article, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on in Jersey City, So yeah, Jersey City is becoming famous because it is the most expensive place to live here. Right? Couldn't it be famous for something better than that? Oh my God. But in any case, so that was, I wasn't surprised, I think, because I knew that people were going to move out of New York City after pandemic, And so, yeah, here we are. But I want to just move out to the West, dude. I mean, I've been saying this for fucking ages, I want to move out to the West where I can be in nature in 20 minutes, whenever I want, And I am going to make it happen, hopefully. But right now I can't. I think I've said this in my last podcast and every other fucking podcast, right? But right now, work is picking up. Work has picked up, luckily, because I was not very optimistic about like the post-pandemic, market for us, construction and, like AEC, architectural engineering construction, right? Industry, AEC industry. But looks like it's coming back, even though we have a fucking, a recession. Um, but by the way, speaking of recession, I don't think it's a recession according to the Feds. All right, if the Feds are saying, who is the Fed's chairman, Jerome Powell? If he's saying that it's not a recession, then it's not a fucking recession. Okay, I mean, all you people, whether on the political left or political fucking right or the center, stop making your own fucking opinions about recession. Yeah, we have, okay, 8%, 9% inflation. Doesn't mean we have a recession. We don't. Okay? I would rather listen to them than you half-wits out there. You half-wits out there. Seriously. And on top of that, the other thing, actually, I was texting my ex-colleagues, and I was actually, listening to the radio when I listen to fucking news. I mean, yeah, I say that I try not to listen to the fucking news, but then, when I'm in the office, I want to get up, I turn on my Alexa, tell her to turn on one of those news channels, right? I mean, I listen to all sides, and so apparently our Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, wants to go to Taiwan. Why? I'm sorry. I don't want to sound political or anything here, but we have a fucking war going on in Ukraine, right? And everybody is extremely like in their own mind, and also in their own, especially politicians in that area, in their mind and also in their places, with the volatility of the situation. Everybody is so like fucking cautious and not to screw up things. And she's going to go there to Taiwan and stir up some shit with China. Oh my fucking God. Why can't the president tell her, no, Nancy, please, no, we are not doing this now. This is not the fucking right time. This is not the fucking right time, And here she is. In any case, I'm sorry, I apologize. I just don't want to fucking talk about these topics, because this is not my, what do you call, forte? Is that the word? I don't want to say something that's not right, Forte. It's not my cup of tea. Or I'd rather not talk about politics, So, if she goes there and and China is already worked up with the West, with the Taiwan situation, right? But in any case, so if something blows up, then it blows up, sir. Let's just change the fucking subject. All right. What else is going on, everyone? Huh? I order some stuff since I'm going to the mountains, obviously for my wedding, right, next month, and I'm gonna get my what do you call my wedding clothing and all that. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about this, but I guess I don't want to carry anything from here, So I'll buy stuff there, I think, and then the basic stuff. Because I needed a fucking backpack. I have that, what do you call, the Outdoor Masters backpack that I bought like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And that's old, so I bought another one. I just ordered from Amazon. And a couple of other things, I ordered. And then, am I prepared to actually do a wedding in the mountains? I guess I am, mentally I'm prepared. I think I'm nervous, and I've been telling my fiancée that, I'm a nervous person to begin with, anxiety, But I'm also excited at the same time, for myself and for her, and for both of us, I think. And I really, really thanks. No, I really thank everyone, including my family and everyone, my friends. They have supported me all these years, and now they made this happen. So, what else? Anything else new on any other fronts of the human civilization? Human civilization is at its peak now. Is it at its peak? Not in the front of space exploration, no. Yeah, you could say that human civilization at this point in time is actually at its peak for, let's say, advancements in what do you call in internet, internet, computers, phones. We have driverless cars now, and all that, right? So in that sense, I think we are at the peak, and also on the medical fronts, we have some what do you call some technologies which are amazing, But at the same time, I think we haven't advanced. I think we haven't done any progress. We haven't made any fucking progress really in the past 50 years in space exploration. We should have had a colony on fucking Mars and Moon. Actually, Moon. We should have had a base on the Moon by actually 20 years ago, 30 years ago. We should have had a base on Moon with humans there, living there, and then by now we should have had a base on Mars. So I always talk about this. So that front has just really been dormant. But now, up until a few years ago, maybe until Elon Musk, somebody like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, these private companies, they're like, fuck this. You know what? We're gonna come up with our own, because if you rely on government is not going to do this, and they are very bureaucratic. They drag their feet on spending money. And then there's not a lot of money, right? There's not a lot of money in terms of NASA's budget, right? And yeah, now it's happening. In the next few years, I think it's going to happen. In addition to that, I think the other venue, I think this is very exciting, I think, for many people. It should be exciting for many people, right? Is it exciting for you, sir? To an extent, yes. And what is that? I think psychedelics are coming back. Psychedelics are coming back, not in the in the rave parties and in the dance parties and all that, or whatever. I think they're coming back for therapeutic reasons, and I think they're going to be incorporated now into medicines. Yes, yeah, that should have been done. That should have been done. This fucking drug laws we have in this country, dude. Oh my fucking god. Psychedelics, if anything, that will show you something that you have been trying to suppress, right? And they would, I think, help you. This is one aspect. They would help you try to resolve something is in your fucking subconscious, right? There has been not the word bugging you that I want to use, but something that you don't even realize that something has occurred in your life, or maybe in your childhood or something, right? That you haven't actually resolved, right? Something, I don't know, it could be fucking anything, right? That's on the psychological level, right? Yeah, well, psychological level, right? So these psychedelics actually, they do that, and also they are very therapeutic. therapeutic, and they are, I mean, most of the psychedelics are actually extremely non-invasive to human body. Extremely non-invasive. And if you know or if you don't know the term LD50, LD50 for most of the psychedelics is that number is very high. It means that the LD50, let me explain LD50, you know. LD50 is the dose, right? It's the dose at which if you, let's say if you have mice or monkeys, right, as guinea pigs, and if you give such a dose that you had 15, you give such a dose to, let's say, 15 rats or monkeys, right? And then half of them die. Half of them die at that dose, right? So that's called LD50, right? So 50% die at that dose. So LD50 for psychedelics is extremely high, right? So even if you take, let's say, I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay. Let me say this as a disclaimer, right? I'm not promoting any drugs or anything, but I'm saying that psychedelics are really, I think, beyond their drugs, okay? Especially, you know, a lot of people take SSRIs, right? And my doctor told me, my primary doctor told me that, oh, maybe, man, you should, maybe you want to try like a mild SSRI. Maybe you have some like childhood depression that you actually never dealt with. I'm like, okay. But I never took them. He gave me a prescription. I never took them because I did a lot of fucking research, right? SSRIs are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, right? So they're basically, I mean, you get depressed because you don't have serotonin, right? Serotonin receptors are basically dry. So these drugs basically bind to those serotonin receptors, and they act like serotonin. And then psychedelics actually do the same. Believe it or not, they bind most of the psychedelics, mushrooms, acid, all these, they bind to the same receptors as serotonin does, right? But in any case, so there you go. So that's one venue, and that is the venue I think psychedelics are going to come back, and it's going to help people instead of like, you know, people taking these other fucking drugs, you know, pharmaceuticals. I'm not saying that those drugs should not be used, prescribed drugs, but then yes, many of those drugs have a lot of fucking side effects, you know. They have a lot of fucking side effects. So if these pharmaceutical companies, if they are smart enough and they come up with some drugs based on these psychedelics, right, and which will have no side effects whatever, right, then that's the fucking win-win game here. With psychedelics, I think it's a really win-win game. And with psychedelics, also, not only therapeutic, but psychedelics can be used and have been used to deal with addiction. Believe it or not, yes. So psychedelics, like a good dose of psychedelic, right? And like, you know, you have to be cosmonaut. I mean, you don't have to be a cosmonaut, right? Not cosmonaut, psychonaut. You don't have to be a psychonaut and take a heroic dose. Take a heroic dose of like 5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms and be in that same realm that Terence McKenna talks about. I'm not talking about that, but if you want to do something like that, then that would mean that you actually want to pursue something like shamanism, you know. And but shamanism, I mean, that's a whole different, like, you know, topic that I don't have time, and I'm not an expert on that. You guys should listen to Terence McKenna. He was the expert. He's the godfather of all that, actually, you know, even psychedelics. You should listen to his lectures, out of this fucking world lectures he has, and the most brilliant. He was one of the most brilliant talkers, and he has written books, and yeah, listen to him, and it's not, it's not only the, again, like I said, it's not only the therapeutic value of psychedelics, but also the ability of psychedelics to actually deal, for people to deal with some really hardcore addiction, because they actually, I think they somehow somehow reset the wiring. Actually, they do physically, actually they physically do rewire the neurons. That's what they say about psychedelics, by the way. And they have this is some really fucking alien technology, and I have a feeling that, especially the natural psychedelics, I think they are the fucking aliens, very non-invasive, very, we think about aliens as if like they're gonna come in a fucking ship and take over the world. No. If aliens are more advanced than us, they would not come here in ships, sir. They would not land a ship on the lawn of White House. I don't think so. If they're more advanced, they would basically try to help us through some very, very extremely, non-invasive, what do you call, means. And psychedelics probably is one of the very non-invasive means to actually tell us, oh, by the way, yeah, you can be a shaman, you take the heroic doses, and then you become a fucking shaman, and they realize, oh my God, there's a whole fucking world out there. Yeah, you become a shaman or a monk or one of those, right? And then you say, oh my God, I can actually transcend dimensions, not only dimensions, but I can transcend the time, right? Listen to Terence McKenna. Don't listen to me, because most of my information on psychedelics is from reading. I've read so many books on psychedelics. All right, and again, I'm not promoting psychedelics for people who want to take them recreationally, because psychedelics are also not for everyone. All right, they're not for everyone's, and you have to be prepared if you want to take a psychedelic. All right. But yeah, I mean, based on my own experience, they actually have if anything, they have actually helped me, as opposed to fucking especially during pandemic. I went fucking crazy, and then I was just like fucking, just dude, oh my God, I don't want to go back, because it just, sometimes I think about what the hell am I doing here? I went through fucking pandemic in this area, and that also kind of creeps me out. If you've gone through something like a pandemic, I mean, I didn't even have a virus. I don't think I had the virus, to be honest with you. I didn't have the virus. I never got the virus, which is good, right? Because I was living in a fucking oblivion, So I'm not talking about the movie Oblivion with Tom Cruise and what's her name. That's a fucking great movie, by the way. Who else is in that movie? Oblivion. Tom Cruise and who is that African American actor? Oblivion. Hold on a second, peeps. Oblivion. Right? That's a fucking great movie. Science fiction. Oblivion. Oblivion, right? Oblivion. Here we go. Oblivion's 2013 movie, right? So, oh yeah, Morgan Freeman, yeah, him and Tom Cruise, and then there are these bunch of beautiful actresses and but whatever, right? So yeah, I was in an oblivion. But in any case, so um, yeah, maybe I should have taken psychedelics at that time. At least I would have been like, I mean, I would at least be like more. I think I would at least be more kind of like, I mean, humble maybe, or maybe not depressed at least. I think if I had microdosed psychedelics, I think at least I should have been. I would not have been depressed. I think part of the reason was obviously everybody was fucking depressed during the pandemic, right? Because it hit us first here. It hit us here in the Northeast. We were the target. We were the first fucking targets of this alien invasion. What alien invasion, sir? What are you talking about? I mean, the virus, right? Fucking virus. So I'm sorry, I went on another tandem with psychedelics, but and the reason why I'm saying this is because, yes, I mean, you can say that, yeah, there's meditation, there's meditation, there is what do you call, yoga and all that. Maybe you should believe, maybe you should start praying to someone or say prayers and all that. Yes, all those are good. I understand that part. Whether you believe in some sort of a deity or some sort of a godhead, whether you believe it or not, yeah, prayers are good because those are actually for you. You are actually praying to yourself, to be honest with you, right? Because your prayers are your own personal things, right? So yeah, that's one. I mean, that's one way to achieve some sort of a monkness. Monkness, is that even a fucking word? I mean, some sort of a, I don't know. Like, if you want to like really say, listen, and this is what I was actually, me and my friend were talking about when we were coming back. I was actually talking about this. I thought, hold on a second. But in any case, so without getting into that realm, what I'm trying to say is that, us humans, we have evolved to this point, right? Obviously, physically, our physical bodies, which have evolved into our, mind, and our mind thinks, and it creates art and science and, and everything else that we have created, right? Including languages, right? And so, yes, all that is good, but I think we are explorers, and yeah, exploring other planets. And also, I think other exploration is okay. So if we have evolved, if we're going to evolve to become something other than our human bodies, right? Other than our human bodies, we have our brain that actually somehow is the hardware for our software called the mind, and the software actually is what is what actually makes us capable and gives us this ability to actually communicate and write and do all the things we do, right? As opposed to other animals who just are the other animals are only basically there to eat shit, sleep, and have sex and reproduce, right? That's their primary goal, right? Except some animals which are actually more intelligent than others, right? Dolphins, I think, are more intelligent, and but that's their purpose. Well, our purpose was that. That's how our civilization also started with that purpose, right? Human, because we are basically we are evolved monkeys, right? So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that if without actually believing in whatever you have been brought up with in terms of your faith and all that, right? Without getting too much, like your head in some sort of a sandbed or something or whatever, without actually emphasizing more on the books and in what we have been taught, if we openly think and say to ourselves, hold on a second, if I'm more than my body and my brain and the mind, and if I'm going to actually I'm going to evolve into something else, right? When I say I, means us, all human beings. Eventually, if you're going to evolve into something else, which is that we are creating some sort of non-physical. Our body actually creates this non-physical entity, right? Which some people call, well, mind is the non-physical entity, right? And maybe mind is a non-physical entity in this realm, means in these 3 dimensions of space, and time being the 4th dimension, right? So that means that, oh, wait a minute. So that means that we are actually creating something. We are creating something that does not need, well, it does need some sort of a physical structure, right? Which is our body now. But if it's something that's actually is evolving out of our human body, right? Then where is it going to actually live? Where is it going to go, right? Or how is it going to actually be in this realm or in this reality or in this universe, which has these laws and rules, right? Including, we can only go up or down or left or right, right? And so there's no other like 4th dimension, right? There's no 4th. There are 4th dimensions. 4 dimensions are possibility, but our senses and our mind cannot fathom a 4th dimension. Only on a paper. Scientists and astrophysicists can actually draw that. What is it called? Tesseract. Tesseract is basically the shadow of a 4-dimensional object. Tesseract is a shadow of a 4-dimensional object, right? Okay, so I guess I went on another tandem. I'm sorry, I apologize. Now that I'm talking about the 4th dimension, so maybe this is what I think. Maybe that we are creating some sort of this non-physical entity, right? Through our mind, actually, our body creates it. Maybe that non-physical entity wants to evolve into that higher dimension, which is the fourth spatial dimension, right? 4th spatial dimension. I'm not talking about a dimension of like fucking when you are taking a heroic dose of a psychedelic, then you see the visuals when you close your eyes. Yeah, well, what is that, sir? What is that dimension? Is that another dimension? What is that reality? That's the $1 million question. What is that? People who have taken DMT and all that, even Joe Rogan talks about that, right? All these other people talk about that who have taken DMT. They say that, oh my God, dude, I was in some other world, and it was so real. It was so real that I thought that I was dead, right? But then we can explain this in a very eloquative, right, manner. He says, I had to check my meters, which that my heart, right, and my breath and all that. Yeah, well, I'm fucking alive, but where the fuck am I, right? Yeah. So what is that? People talk about how therapeutic the psychedelics are and blah blah. And I just talked about this, sir. They are. But then if you want to take another step and you want to become a shaman, and then you can say, this is what the psychedelics do to you, and that they open a door for you, right? Even didn't fucking Aldous Huxley, when he wrote that book, Doors of Perception, after he took mescaline, right? Right. So somehow I think psychedelics actually help this creature that we are creating, right? Somehow psychedelics help this creature or this non-physical entity that our body is creating to evolve into their dimension. And that's where the visuals and everything and whatever you call it, right? Heaven or whatever, or hell or whatever, right? Is, I think. That's my 2 cents. I mean, did I actually go deep on this one? Maybe I did. I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't mean to go deep in this one, but I think that's my dumbed down explanation of what us humans are going to evolve into. And I think psychedelics, and also I think some of these electronic gadgets, although I feel like we are so much fucking dependent on them now, computers, especially phones, fucking social media. Oh my fucking god, dude. We are so much fucking dependent on them that I feel like maybe either we are becoming too much dependent on them because these machines are evolving. The software, I'm not talking the physical phone, but the software but the software and everything, we have created this. So we have created this fucking electronic, I think we are going to create some sort of an electronic god or goddess, right? Software god or goddess, which is going to fucking take over. What is that, sir? Is that, what is that company from fucking Terminator, dude? Which was making these robots, right? Terminators. Oh my fucking god, I don't fucking remember. I'm losing my fucking mind. Skynet, right? Is it generating some sort of Skynet which is going to make us addicted to these phones so much so that we can't live without them? Okay, let's not. Too many topics, sir. Let's stick with one. What I was trying to say was that we are going to create some sort of some sort of a non-physical entity which wants to evolve beyond the 3 dimensions, beyond this. I think this universe, right, which is basically 3 dimensions. 3 special dimensions, and fourth being time. 4th dimension being time, right? Time being the 4th dimension. But here's okay. So to that, I think I would say is okay. Yes. So maybe that's what these scientists and astrophysicists are talking about. That hold on a second. So maybe if there is another parallel universe, well, forget the parallel universe. How about the dark matter and dark energy? How much % of our universe is composed of dark matter and dark energy? Let me see, right? What the fuck is that, right? How much percentage of our universe is dark energy and dark matter, right? Okay, here we go. And now I'm going on NASA's website, right? It turns out that roughly 68% of the universe is dark energy. 68%. Dark matter makes up about 27%. What? So if 68% of the fucking universe is dark energy, and then 27% of the universe is dark matter, then the rest of everything that we see, stars, the fucking galaxies, planets, asteroids, comets, right? Everything else is only 5% of the universe. Can you believe that? This is proven scientifically. And what the fuck is dark matter? What the fuck is dark energy? I don't want to get into that. I'm sorry. And I'm not an astrophysicist, But obviously, I'm an engineer, right? I'm an engineer. I'm just interested in these, and obviously, all these astrophysicists have spent their fucking lives trying to figure out what the fuck is dark matter, what the fuck is dark energy. But the only thing I would say, and don't quote me on this one because again, I'm not an astrophysicist. The only thing I would say is that, I mean, obviously, dark energy and dark matter are can we even say that they are matter energy, because they cannot be detected. They cannot be detected by light. They are undetectable. So that means that 68 plus 27, right? 68 plus 27. What is that? There's 95%. Is that correct? 95%. 95% of our universe is undetectable. Is undetectable by light. Right? So if you shine a light on dark matter, dark energy, you won't fucking see anything, sir. You will just see the whole fucking empty space. Right? So that's why it's called dark matter and dark energy, right? So what is that? What the fuck is that? Right? Well, I mean, some people said that, oh yeah, that's actually this force that actually binds. I mean, I actually, Neil deGrasse Tyson, brilliant astrophysicist, our own Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? Who few years ago, who curated a show at the Hayden Planetarium at the American Museum of Natural History, right? He was curating this show called Dark Universe. I think that, oh my God, fucking amazing. It's in the dome, right? At the Hayden Planetarium. And then show was like, I don't know, 20 minutes. And then explains to you graphically, and then, in his own voice, he explains it to you what the fuck dark energy is. Dark matter, not dark energy. And they were trying to show dark matter, although you can't fucking see it. They were trying to show how dark matter actually keeps the stars and galaxies together, because the force of gravity is too weak to keep these intact and not too far from each other. So the bottom line about dark matter is, I think also, again, don't quote me, I'm not a fucking astrophysicist, don't quote me, but the bottom line is that it's because of dark matter that our planetary systems, our star systems, and our galaxies are held in place. So that's it. Right? But then what is it? I'm pretty sure scientists have their own explanation, right? But okay, why did I go into so deep? Oh my fucking God, I'm sorry, I apologize. It's already 48 minutes into my podcast. I mean, these are topics which are near and dear to me, and I'm assuming some of these actually interest you all too. Besides, whatever the hell else you're doing, right? On a Monday night. I mean, it was a beautiful night, actually. It was kind of cloudy day, But I had my leftovers, I had some Spanish food. I had some leftovers from the food I cooked, yesterday. I came back and I was so tired, dude. And I came back from Poconos, and then I dropped off my friend, and then I didn't do any work, and I didn't want to, because I said, you know what, I'm just going to go to work tomorrow, I'm going to deal with that, right? And so I cooked some, I did some grocery shopping, I cooked some potatoes for my breakfast, that's what I did, and then I was just watching, what the fuck I was watching? Oh, Westworld I was watching, and Stranger Things. And then Gray Man. I think Gray Man is kind of a boring movie. I didn't finish it, but Yeah, that's my boring life. I'm sorry. That's my boring thing life. I mean, yeah, it's not as boring as if you think about other people's lives, and not because of their own making, but you know, life is tough for some people. Life is tough for some people. Yeah, it has been tough for me too. In all these years, some of my own making and mistakes, but other, world is a fucking cruel place. But then you have to basically put the effort, and you have to basically have some sort of discipline, you know and you have to keep doing what you want to do, what you want to achieve in your life, success, even financial success. Because I mean, if you are a hippie, liberal, one of those hippies, and you say, oh, money is not the happiness. No, it's not the happiness, but money is a need. You don't want to be struggling. I'm not saying that I have money, I don't. But you want to be financially stable, and and then you can focus on other things that you really want to focus on, whatever you want to do in your life, art or music or whatever your passion is, just focus on that, and maybe if you focus on that, maybe you can, yeah, now we're going to say, oh, maybe if I focus on that, maybe I'll make money out of that. Yeah, that can happen too, I get that can happen too. So whatever floats your boat, right? And yeah, patient, have a lot of patience and be passionate. Who are you preaching, sir? Which choir you're preaching to? Yeah, I know. I don't have patience. And am I passionate? I think in the heart of my heart, I'm passionate. I think it's just that I have a lot of temper issues, I think, and I think I'm gonna join a CKO, one of those like punching bag, centers. One of my friends, he joined. I think I'm gonna join this week, and I'm just gonna go there and just punch the bag, like boxing. No, I'm not going to do this on a professional level. And then the other thing, most importantly, yes, I want to get my private flying license, private pilot license, pilot license. You know why? Because I like to fly drones, and that's the new fucking reality. Actually, I think Arkansas is taking some initiative to make flying cars real. Although, if you ask people like Elon Musk or other engineers, and I have some hesitancy about flying cars because of landing is a problem. Where would you land them, right? Noise from the rotors, right, or whatever it is. Although I think these are the questions that were asked when cars in the 1900s and the 1910s were coming onto the fucking road, People were asking the same fucking questions about the cars, which were, oh, these machines, instead of horses and horse buggies, you're going to have these machines. What if they get out of control and they start basically just hitting everybody and killing people? I'm pretty sure there were a lot of accidents in the beginning, right? I'm not saying that we have to sacrifice like 10% of the population of this fucking world to make flying car a reality. I'm not saying that. But I think that's going to be a reality, and we're going to come up with some fucking rules, to make that happen. So, yeah, that's why I want to get my pilot license. I want to actually fly in the mountains where I come from. And I want to actually fly because it's actually easier if you know how to fly. It's easier to actually transport yourself instead of driving. Even here in this fucking country, if I want to go to, let's say, Maine, or if I want to go to even Colorado, I can either take a plane, right? I'm in Colorado. I'm not going to fucking drive to Colorado, right? But if I want to take a plane, that's going to take me like 6 hours, right? No, not only 6 hours, sir. 2 hours, 6 hours plus 2 hours, 8 hours. At least 8 hours. Minimum 8 hours, right? But if I can basically fly my own small plane, right? All I have to do is to basically just go through all the FAA checks, right? Whatever they need from me, whoever I have to inform, and get the get the time, right? And as long as I am talking to the flight control and all that, right? All that fucking jazz, then I can just take my own like small fucking plane, land somewhere in a private like what do you call an airport, and that's it, right? So yeah, I'm because of the drones and all that, I'm very interested, and I'm an engineer. That's like kind of my passion. I want to do that. Besides playing golf, you know, golf is good actually. Golf is fucking good. I think I want to play this Saturday, right? This fucking Saturday. So I think it's already 56 minutes, everyone. So I assume that you all are having a great start of the week. You all had a great weekend, I presume, right? And with that said, I will talk to you all next weekend or Monday.